or where I need to go.
All good.
You're all good. You see it on the group there?
Yeah.
Because I know it goes to my Facebook page as well. But if you can see it there, that's cool. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What are we drinking this morning? Got my coffee in hand. How about you? You got your mocha, Leon?
No, I'm gonna get it a little later. I've got a office meeting for all my agents, so I'll pick one up on my way to my other office so I can Zoom with them out of there.
Yeah, you need it right now. Your energy's off. I'm just joking.
Hey, but you know what? So here you go. Right after that, I still got up and I'm here.
You still got up in here. That's first thing though. I mean, I'm up at 4 in the morning, and the first thing that I'm thinking about before I do anything is that coffee. I'm like, I'm up, and if I'm doing it right, I'm preparing it the night before. So all I have to do is press the button, or I have the automatic one just going, so it just wakes me up with that smell. I apologize to Troy, who's a tea drinker. We coffee's for closers, Troy.
Put that
I've got-
coffee down.
I've got tea also. I get a special blend of goji palm with blueberry, so the antioxidants and all that stuff, the good old healthy stuff. And I turn around and I take it with the local honey. And it's funny because the cherry trees are blossoming right now, so people with allergies are like running around sneezing uncontrollably, and it's going to be that way for a week or so.
It's true. I like the green tea matcha powder. That's good stuff too.
Yeah. If you have that local honey, that helps with that with the allergies. I think a lot of people miss that. It's like you gotta be having local honey.
Some of that local stuff.
Oh, everybody thought they came to a mastermind and it's a health class.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Now you need to correct it. It's local raw honey, not processed. Got to be
you
raw.
are true. Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Preach it,
Don't
Campbell.
get the benefits without it being raw.
You know it. Raw, organic, local, seasonal, all those the buzzwords. Okay, guys, so we'll give it a minute or two. The first 5 minutes is always fun. Sometimes we talk about football. Like if you really want to talk about football right now, Campbell, you should know that the Las Vegas Raiders are ready to take it all the way.
Well, we lost Matty Ryan, so he's gone. He's now out, and we're still waiting on who we're getting. We haven't heard the final confirmation. I keep hearing rumors of Baker Mayfield.
No, you have Marcus Mariota.
That's right. He's
You're right. I heard that yesterday afternoon, and I agreed. That was a stupid move. That's a placeholder.
I'm sorry. Does anyone notice that Campbell is driving in space? Right on.
I was actually just thinking that. I'm like,
spaceship is what I'm doing.
That's
I'm like,
cool.
first of all, I haven't heard Campbell in a while. He's been kind of quiet, but I'm looking, and there he is. He's like driving on the moon or something.
I'm waiting to see him. I'm waiting to see him in the little white Corvette from Heavy Metal. That'll make it complete.
Right on.
I'm wondering, is that a Tesla you're driving there, Campbell?
No, it's just my little Lexus. I'm quiet because I'm trying to learn from all the pros. When you're talking, you're not learning.
Campbell, can you do a Vince Scully impersonation?
Not really.
Come on, please.
But I can polish my head out that way. Trust me.
It will be amazing.
I have to work on that one just for you.
Thank you. I would appreciate it.
Okay. I'll get it down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's mastermind, we're obviously going to go share wins and strategies and all the good stuff that we're learning. But I want to come off quickly off the presentation I gave yesterday in LCA around the quadrant of lead generation, because I just want you guys to kind of get back to the principles. And Troy's going to talk to me or talk with me on this because he leads the ad performance reviews. Logan, if he's here, I don't expect him to be here on time, but if he is, he can shed some light on this as well. But it's called the quadrant of lead generation. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick. And once I do, let me know if you can see it. You guys see that? Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Is that a yes or a yes? That's a yes. Okay. So real quickly, just so you know, okay, we've been at it for a long time, actually since 2014. Did you know there was a day in 2015 where it took 30 minutes per ad and funnel to produce per customer? Can you imagine? Now that you've got the Netflix of of Facebook, where you can go click, 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 deploy. Well, yes, and so since that time, 125,000 ads and 5,160,000 leads have been generated through the StreetText platform. So it's pretty impressive. But what we'll tell you, and you should know, and you'll be reinforcing it as you're getting through this learning curve. Some of you are masters of it. Some of you need to practice a little bit, and I'll call upon you masters to shed some light on that as well. But it really sums it up in these 4 quadrants. And what is crazy bizarre to note today, Facebook is trying to simplify this, but there's 11 marketing objectives you can run through Facebook. And it's like, who wants to figure that out? This is why you're here at StreetText. But I'll tell you, ad creative, ad copy, split testing, and A/B testing. You master those 4, your lead generation, particularly in the market that you're in. Of course, it's going to be unique to you and your market and your area, because you can't compete, in one area like Louisiana versus Beverly Hills, California. It's going to be 2 different auctions. You're not auctioning, remember, against just agents. You're auctioning against everybody marketing and advertising on that Facebook space. Instagram is included in that. But I will tell you, 70% of campaign success is due to the creative. It's due to the creative. So that is your key component, which some of you are like, dang it, that's why you shouldn't be using those stock photos, okay? Because ad creative is really relevant to using local organic photos. Things people see all the time. That type of ad image with the map, which has been our bread and butter since 2015. Well, it's because it's local and organic. No one's thinking about it, that typical ad. And now when you put in some price bubbles, it's kind of becoming revamped as the new, what's your home really worth? There's all those little price bubbles in it. And, depending on who you are and where you're from and what system you're using, those price bubbles will look a little different than the others. But that's what I'll tell you. And then I've seen a lot of great people, and Troy has a lot to speak to this because he sees it all the time, and so does Logan, using Canva in the space of and running 3 or 4 images in one now that are local and organic, different landscapes and landmarks within that quadrant, right? As I'm talking about quadrants. But ad creative number 1, followed by ad copy, which is simply, if someone were to buy your home, would you sell it? Those type of simple, easy, short, straight to the point. What's your home really worth? Because their eyes are literally like flying through the news feed looking for something that catches in that moment. What's your home really worth? Enter your address, receive your home value, click, right? Because it just makes sense. There's no beating around the bush there. It says enter your address. I can do that. That's why that 60-70% click to contact ratio on any given day is happening, even with thousands and thousands of people doing it across the world. Is because it simply gets to the point. There's integrity behind that ask. These are the type of simple call to actions in the ad copy. Split testing, I think at this point, hopefully we've really buried that down into your soul. That split testing is the most important testing. And you guys know that. That's just doing 3 at a time because you're splitting the audiences. You don't know where Facebook's going to randomly deploy it within that 15 miles. And then the A/B testing. The A/B testing. I'll tell you this, like real quickly, get this burned in your head. Split testing is a lot like hitting into Vegas, sitting at the blackjack table and saying, I want a 21. Well, are your chances of getting that 21 better if you play 3 hands or 1? If you play 5 hands or 1? Simple stated, right? And then you're basically going to split test long enough to find the winner and pause the other 2, 3 or 4, depending on how many you launch at the same time. The A/B testing is just as powerful because let's use the what's your home really worth example. If you just A/B test different images within that funnel, you're split testing them and A/B testing them. So maybe on one you're using, Canva local imagery and landmarks, and the other using maps, and you're still using like the split testing. That's a smart concept to do in the beginning too, as you're trying to figure out which one is going to best represent your market and kind of take off and hit the home run. So just wanted to start with that. If you understand, again, the quadrant of
Hello, this is Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, we need to meet you there. Someone want to meet Lisa? There we go. Perfect. Any questions on that? That was a good, quick 5-minute, bam, 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 shove it down your throat, espresso type of, lead gen formula. Any questions on that formula there? This would be the time to ask, to unmute yourself, or just comments, remarks, or yes, I agree, I do it all the time.
I have a little question. So how does that A/B testing work? I've never done that before.
Okay, so the A/B testing. So let's just. Are you using any seller ads right now?
Yeah, I'm doing, and I did the split testing, and I've actually used a picture of our local Victoria Gardens, which everybody loves. So I got some traction in the beginning. Not really getting anything right now, and I'm not sure what to do now.
So a split or an A/B test would be going right back to that same funnel, the what's your home really worth, and instead of the Victoria Gardens, put a different picture in and split test that.
Okay.
That's A/B testing. You just change one variable. The variable could be the copy. The variable could be the image. The variable could be the actual targeting.
Okay.
But just one change makes it become an A/B test because you're actually changing something other than who Facebook's randomly deploying it to.
Oh, okay, good. So that's good to know, because I was like, I want to keep it because I've got a lot of, trolls and they keep, bumping it up. So that's good. And I do answer all of them. Well, oh, thank you for, being a jerk. But no, I don't say that. So that's good to know, because I was thinking, well, maybe if I use a different picture. So maybe if I use a couple of, like a map on one. So that would be like the A/B test.
Yes, Logan, if you're here, go ahead and mute yourself, because I just got a private message said, dude, those maps aren't working.
Yeah.
Well, I can prove to you that it is by showing you one that is really crushing. So it depends on where you're at.
On that, first and foremost, I do always want to make sure that I let you guys know it's working in certain areas, and the map with the price bubbles and everything. Anybody who comes to the ads class, I've been telling them the exact same thing, because my feelings is that the map image has kind of jumped the shark a little bit in a lot of locations, where it looks like an ad. It's been run so many times in particular areas that, the second you see it, you go, oh, there's that ad again. And when ad creative is as important as we know it is, we need to stop that scroll. And if that one's keeping the scroll going, we need to stop running that, is the way I look at that. So you'd never know until you test it. So, you come to these calls, you come to these meetings, and you get the information from everybody, what we should try. Absolutely try it. If you've seen it working for somebody else, there's no reason to not try it. Try it out, but you don't need to run it for weeks on end to know if it's working or not. A couple days, 48 hours. Did it work for me? Yes or no? No. Okay, well, maybe try it again. No again. Time to try something different. And then when we're talking, and this is a good opportunity, Marcus brought up both A/B testing and split testing at the same time, which I think is, something really smart to look at. And there's two completely different ways to kind of test your ads. I like to combine those now. And I'm doing a split A/B test, where instead of doing a 3-ad split test, I'm doing a 2 and 2. So 2 ads that are absolutely identical, and then 2 ads from that same template that I've changed something materially, maybe the image, maybe the ad copy, whatever it is, but typically it's the imagery. Then let them run against each other, right? So you have 2 in the same set, 2 in the same set against each other, 24, 48 hours. So it's split A/B test. So 4 ads total instead of the typical 3. But it's a good way to kind of get down to what's working as quick as humanly possible. And again, something I've been finding great success with. And don't let anybody else's success or failures or whatever drive you towards or away anything without testing it for yourself. Check it out, see if it works. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then move on to something different. But that's what the ad classes are for, and that's what we're here to help you with.
Thank you. That's good information.
Awesome. All right. So unless we have any more questions or comments on that, let's move on to converting leads. So who has some shares that they'd like to talk about and wins recently? We want to hear them. Don't make me call on somebody. Oh, the sound of silence.
Okay. I'm like, let me give somebody else a chance to talk.
Oh, Linnea, you've always got to win. Go, girl.
But everyone's quiet, so that's why I talk. So I will say, big win. I just put another StreetText lead into contract. And I'm going to tell you the reason why what she told me yesterday is she actually, even though she gave me her information via the StreetText ad back in January, she said she's actually been following me on Facebook for the last 2 years. So huge win is that, like the people that are coming through your StreetText, you never know. Like you never know who those audiences are. You don't know if they've seen you somewhere else. Like you don't really know. So that's kind of my big win, and kind of like a big aha was like, oh, okay. So StreetText kind of in this case was a platform for her to give me her contact information, right? And so because she had seen me already and I continued to follow up with her, that was a huge win. And she referred me. I have a listing appointment this weekend for her best friend who has a listing that is like probably going to be priced at 1.5. So that one lead turned into 2.
Good job.
Big
And
deal.
let me just piggyback off of that real quick before I call on Michael. March 31st, save the date. We are joining with Linnea, her lender, and a representative from HomeBot to show you how she's customized the HomeBot experience. One thing I will tell you about Linnea that she does so well, not just in her automation, she's got about a dozen videos in StreetText, but also in her HomeBot, and she's customized that experience. So there's probably like 24 video touch points, not to mention what you're doing throughout your own personal responses as well, that are going out, plus her social media influence as well that's going out. So there's no doubt in my mind people are getting to know, like, and trust Linnea in that way.
Linnea, real quick, was that a buyer ad or seller ad for the
Home value ad? Home value ad. And it was one of the ones, like, it's kind of when I started changing my strategy a little bit about follow-up, because I was trying to go after all of them exactly the same. And I was like, hey, really, I can't do that. So she actually gave me all of her contact information, name, address, email, phone number. And she was communicating back and forth with Julie a couple of times. And then I took over the call, and that's when we connected. So that's kind of how it came through. So that was kind of like, goes back to my whole thing of, if they're giving you all their contact information and they're communicating and you're not calling, you're losing money. That was kind of the solidifier for that.
Yes, I love it. Gabrielle, I'm gonna call on you because I watched your video yesterday, and it was a sharp challenge to, if you're not picking up the phone, pick up the damn phone, basically was the message.
Just make the call.
Just make the call. Just make the call.
If you're sitting there wondering what to do, just dial. That's it.
100%. And if you need practice, you can join his role play class.
Yeah. It's the best thing to do. Everything else is alternative. Everything else is a plan B, like the priority is talking to people. That's what StreetText is doing for us. It's like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. Here's somebody else. Talk to them, right? So just try that first 3 times, 3 texts, 3 voicemails. If nothing, then switch on the automation, occasional follow-up by you directly. And I mean, sooner or later, you're going to get something out of it.
Love it. Michael, you got something.
Yeah, we had a lead come in, and I sent a video text right after the 2 audio or automated messages went out, and she called back immediately thereafter. First time home buyer. Apparently she, like Linnea said, she'd been looking at our Facebook, looking at a lot of different things, and turns out she's a first time home buyer ready to buy. So that was a win.
Good job. All right. So what's next with her? Getting her to a buyer contract?
She's getting pre-approved today or tomorrow. Hopefully she can get all those ducks lined up and respond quickly and buy her a home this weekend.
Let's do it. Emily.
Okay, so I wanted to share a win. I just posted it in the groups, but I thought I'd share in here. So I've been around StreetText for a few months now, and I had the same issue that a lot of new people have is, what do I do? What do I say? I had all the scripts. And then Gabriel's been talking about the universal script. So I downloaded it, and it really is, in my mind, kind of a one-stop shop because it's for a buyer lead. You can use it for a seller lead. And last night I got a text message reply to my first automation that goes out for buyer leads. Like, what city are you looking in? Like, let me narrow it down. And it was like 7 o'clock at night. Got it notification I got Temecula, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, I haven't had a chance to call him. I need to do like the universal script. I'm like, let's just try to text the universal script. He's communicating via text, so let's continue the dialogue. And I literally followed the universal script all the way through to setting a Zoom appointment for when his wife comes back from vacation. And like, I know everything about him. I know he's a veteran. He wants to look into VA loans and some other options and like everything. And so to me, that's such a big win, because that script really just helped me stay on course and not just overdo it. And sometimes I think I overdo it and people are like, so just wanted to share that. You can Google it and find it. It's free. It's everywhere on the internet. You download it. So thank you, Gabriel.
Bam. That is such easy, practical takeaway. Everybody Google the universal script right now and then share that into the Facebook group too.
Universal callback script.
Universal callback script. Let's say that. Universal callback script. That's what we Google. Oh, someone already put the link in there. Perfect. Thank you, Sarah. Donna, great win, Emily. Good job.
I just want to say I haven't been on all the calls, but I do listen to replays, and I have phenomenal results with my rent-to-own ad. It actually brings in not only buyers, but believe it, sellers, because they think that they need to just rent something before they buy, and I have some new buyers. I will have to say the last 3-4 months, I have had 4 different closings from StreetText. From buyers. I'm sorry I haven't posted anything, but I'm busy, so it's good.
Whoa.
I probably get about 20 leads a week off of that ad.
Okay.
At least.
We're gonna have to stop you there. I'm actually have to pull out your account, and I want to see this.
Okay.
Because rent to own, that sounds pretty cool. Logan, did you help her with that one, or did she just come up with this herself?
I used your generic ad and made it. He was trying to help me do the one where you get cash offers, and we couldn't get that one to get traction.
Yeah,
but I'm sure he's going to figure it out for me.
Donna nailed this one all on her own. It's clearly working well. So.
Oh my goodness! I'm just going to look at it, and it's not. Wow. Let's just look at this right now and just all.
Donna, are you using the rent-to-own programs like Divvy and Dream America on the backside?
I'm using Divvy and Home Partners.
Got it. Yeah, I'm registered with all of those.
2 of the closings I had the last few months, they looked at this ad, called me, and you can see by the comments, they said, let's have a discussion and see what's best for you.
I'm taking a snapshot of this.
2 of them were regular buyers. One was a VA and one was FHA.
412 comments, 80 shares. Are you kidding me? I don't think I've ever seen
Donna,
that social interaction on something like that before.
Donna, quick question for you on those. Are they coming in at market average, above or below for your prices for the rent own?
They're coming in above. I have one of them that is actually above Divvy's threshold of 475 here. That Divvy's actually giving her 707.
Got it.
Wow, Donna.
What's really cool is $7 a day. Holy cow. I'm so jelly right now.
Look at this. You've got 754 full contacts from that. You've spent over 2,000, but you have 754 at $2.70. You let this add on forever, and it's crushing.
Yes.
Marcus, can you post a copy of that in the group? I'd like to see that, because I've done a lot of stuff with the rent done, so I'd like to snatch that one, do an R&D on that.
Same here. Same here. I need that too.
Rip off and duplicate.
Baby, you know it. R&D. How do you walk through a minefield? Follow someone.
Donna may need to do a class, because I only get low budget people. I'm in Atlanta, and the 145,000 does nothing. And that's usually the budgets I'm getting for mine.
And Donna, I had a quick question.
But look at the homes that I put in the images. The images,
that's
the
a good
homes,
idea.
like I'm basically changing the mindset. If you don't think you can buy this, then this isn't for you.
Donna, where are you sending these people? Like in terms of, obviously it's a fantastic offer, and many people who are looking to rent would love the prospect of part of their rental, payments going towards a purchase price. Do you have a list of owners currently looking to sell on a rent-to-own program, or do you have
Yes, Divvy, I put it in the chat, Divvy and Home Partners. There's also Trio, but I don't use them.
So to explain to what's happening here, Donna, because it tells me to tell me a little bit more about myself.
Yes.
That's smart. And so I could give you that information. I'm not a robot, and then I have to go into this little fire hydrant thing.
Yeah.
So it
Marcus,
kind of
Marcus, for everybody
automatically
to
gives
understand,
people- What's that?
for everybody to understand on these rent to own, this is not you dealing with an individual homeowner. The rent to own company actually buys the home for your client, and you get full commission off the deal. It's a way to do a deal today with someone who can't technically qualify for a loan today, but there's still a good credit risk. So it makes your bottom line. You're not doing a rental. You are actually selling the home. They end up renting it from the people that you're selling it to. So it's a deal for you in the process. It's not a rent to own on your end where you're getting a teeny tiny commission. You get full commission.
Where are they going, Donna? After they put their information, they go to the lead gen ad where Marcus was just at, and then it looks like you have them on a landing page. Where do you have that landing page set up?
It goes to my website.
Okay.
And then I hire a VA, and as they come in, he calls them and sets their appointments for me.
Yep, and I can see I just got a, hey Marcus, thank you for contacting Donna Allman to learn more about the rent-to-own programs. My name is Kim and I'm Donna's assistant, so I'll help you through the process. So I got that. Do you complete your application? Yeah. I'll send you some of that script.
And I'm actually working on that today. That's why I'm in my office, and I'm going to do like Wendy and actually just focus today and improving my follow-up through the automation. But then my VA actually picks up the phone and calls them and sets the appointment for me and saying, you know, what's the great time for Donna to call you back? Because I'm on the road. And so he'll put it in my calendar. So all I do is have to click that phone number and I call them.
I know many of your minds right now are just going crazy with the possibilities.
So Donna, your VA is not qualifying them on the front end where they want to
look? Because he's not licensed and I don't want any issues.
Okay.
He's
Are you
actually
using an in-house VA or are you outsourcing the VA?
I hired him directly, but he's in the Philippines.
One other thing to remember, and I always say this, if you don't have an assistant, you are one. And a lot of people, if we're going to sit here and ball on a budget, Home Partners of America and some of these other programs that do that, go out and find yourself a lender. You always hear in the group here about teaming up with people to do something. No finance, no romance. So some of these programs here, you find a lender to partner up with you. Now you've got shared costs. You also have someone else that's going to pick up the phone and dial for you. And there's nothing better than a lender doing it that's going to get off the phone with a pre-qual person for you ready and willing to go already. So the momentum keeps driving with this. And so, you know, don't think we always have to do this on our own. One of the hardest things in this business sometimes is delegating something out or sharing something with somebody. And who better to turn around and qualify a buyer than a lender itself. So a lot of lenders have these programs, but you know, we have a tendency not to talk to them because some of us are in markets where buyers aren't exactly something we want. But sometimes for the amount of time it takes to process to get these guys going, I'm not going to call it, it's a niche, but you know, you don't just work one field only. If all you're doing is working expires or this or that, you're starving yourself intentionally. And you can always go to the gym and change your diet to do that. But just remember, lender partners are very good in certain areas, and these programs are really good for them.
Speaking about lenders, March 31st, you want to bring your favorite lender to figure out how you can customize HomeBot. Because that's just another reason why to have a preferred lender, because now you have the video integration within HomeBot. So make sure you save the date on that one. Yeah, I just going to piggyback off you there, Leon, because there's another reason why to have that. And they could, and I've seen many of you actually get them to spend or pay a lot of your sponsorship or your membership fees.
A lot of lenders have budgets that are given them, and so many of us don't help them spend their money. It's like, what's wrong with us? So, you know, have that conversation and don't just settle for one. Go out in 3 and 4, and you might even have to pick up a lender that, you know, you haven't worked with before because they specialize in the area that you want to go. So, you know, as we build our business, because this is a business, kind of work with that thought in mind.
Awesome share, Donna. That was huge. I think everybody's kind of getting excited about what they can do with their ads.
She's going to be my new friend on Facebook.
Keep them coming. We got some more shares? Or you know, just go ahead and unmute yourself and ask. You got the community in front of you to ask any question you'd like.
I have a question.
Wendy.
Okay, so for the people that are using VAs that aren't in your general area, see, like, I think it would be perfect for a VA to like be able to book on. Oh, hold on, holy moly! I gotta go over a curb. Pardon me, coming through. Jeep girl.
That's why you got a Jeep.
Not Wendy.
Anyway, ideally, I would love them to be able to like book on your calendar. But when they pull up your calendar, it's in their time zone and everything's messed up. So like when they see my calendar, it's in their time zone. And so how are people dealing with that? Does anybody deal with that?
Actually, that's not true. When you sit here, you can set the time zone on your calendar for what time zone you're in and where you want it to be. That way it's already there.
Which I do. And so it looks right to me. But when I had someone in New York making calls and she would click my calendar link, she was booking them for like 3 hours later.
Okay, then that was a mistake on her end.
And she was seeing that that I didn't have any appointments till like after 3 every day instead of after 12. So
she probably didn't realize that she doesn't have to, adjust for the time difference. So make sure she's just, right. You know what I'm saying? Like she probably don't realize that, that it's already automated.
Right. She was booking it right through my calendar, and then it was sending my buyer or seller a link for the 3 hours ahead, like her time zone. So everything was messed up, and I didn't know if anybody. So what would I tell her?
Tell her to switch it to the Pacific or the time zone that you're in. When they go to the Calendly link, there's an option to switch it to the time zone, a different time zone.
Oh. Okay, so she just has to change it in Calendly.
Yeah,
it
auto-populates.
Yeah, I have I have appointments all over the country, and I don't ever have to worry about it because there's a setting that allows Calendly to know the difference. And
okay, yeah, mine's through youcanbookme.com, and that's what I've been using. So, I mean, I would assume it would be the same thing, but
there's probably a setting. Just talk to the assistant and make sure the setting's on, and that should fix it.
All right.
One thing I do, Wendy, is because I'm not in the same time zone as the rest of the StreetText people, I have actually changed my time zone on my computer so that it's in the PST time zone so that I know. So if your VA wants to change it on her computer, it'll pull everything up in your time zone. So while she's working with you, that's also another option to make it easy.
Right, and I know that she works with people all over, but she never uses their calendar link. She just kind of, soft sets an appointment. And I'm like, yeah, no, I need to make sure that you're setting appointments when I'm available. So anyway, but yes, good idea. It should all be about me, and they should just have their shit revolving around mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Hey, Wendy, don't forget to get those new Raider calendars out, just so you know.
I know, I'm so excited, and I gotta do my new branding, so I gotta redo all my stuff, but it's gonna be cool. I'm excited. Almost there.
If you guys are wondering what we're talking about, she ran a lead ad to free calendars for the Raiders. And it went viral. It's like 50 cents a lead. So those are cool ideas to get free value to people and have them put that on their fridge because they're magnets, and now they get to see your face every day.
That's right.
I'm gonna give some out this year with a picture of the Seahawks and a box of Kleenex because these boys are crying harder than the rain falls around here right now.
So sorry for you, Seahawks, buddy.
So I'm gonna ask a question in the group, And this is just one of those, I feel we all know each other. I'm looking at 60 plus people in here, and only half of us have cameras on. And, you know, we sit here and everybody wants to be camera shy or say, I can't do this. Why do you not turn on your cameras in the group? I mean, I could get it if, you know, I don't want to see you coming out of the shower dripping wet, but you got to start somewhere. And when you say easy win, once again, Leon's free 99, I'm going to be blunt. Turn your damn cameras on so people can see you and say hi and see who's in the group. This is like honestly ridiculous. I mean, you call people, you're going to meet people, you're going to get in front of people. Why can't we see people? This is just, I say this from the heart, really. Just stop hiding.
I'm chopping onions, Leon. I'm going to be crying right now, so I'm trying not to make a mess in front of everybody.
So at least it ain't a Seahawks thing. Okay.
I'm right there with you.
And when you're walking back in from the car, you don't want to give everyone vertigo with the camera going everywhere. So I'm switching back to my desk.
Look at that, man. I love it. Thank you.
Good job, Leon. I agree with you. I'm the same way. Turn on
Too
the
much
camera.
Raider talk, Marcus. We need to talk about the world champion, Los Angeles Rams. Thank you very much.
Yeah, like respect. You know what? I respect you. You should be wearing that jersey everywhere right now.
Yeah, oh, you bet.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys understand. I mean, and this is the top of funnel, and you need to empower yourself by being on camera all the time because, you know, I find that I did a video on this yesterday. You're no longer just a salesman. You are a promoter. You are a social media influencer. You are a networker. You're a marketer. You're wearing all the hats. So you better believe your video must be on at all times. Because how else are you going to get brand recognition? What makes you unique and different than anybody else out there? And I'll tell you what, it's you. It's your personality. That's what's going to get you to build your tribe and those people that follow you. You got to be willing to put yourself out there every second you have an opportunity to, because you never know when that one connection is going to happen. It's just because of that connection they have with you. So that's my encouragement to you: is video is on at all times when it can be.
If you don't get used to people seeing you, how will they know you? I mean, Marcus, ever since I've ever been in StreetText, when I joined, you've always sat there and talked about making that connection. And what you have to remember is when people come online to see you, they're looking to see what they can about you. If they don't have that, they move on. So, what better place to start than here? We talk about BombBomb, Loom, Zoom, Dub, all that. I don't think people are doing that with their camera turned off. So, we say things that create habits. When you do it enough, it becomes a habit. Let's say get used to it.
Even got Logan to do a video the other day.
Well, and honestly, even for us, even for all of us, it's in terms of building relationships, even on these calls for referrals, right? If you've got someone over in, North Carolina, if I've got my camera on and you see that I'm interacting and you constantly are seeing someone, then that builds those relationships as well in terms of us being professional colleagues. And so it can help in that way as well.
And people know, think about this. You go to a listing appointment, I don't care, you're meeting a buyer, anybody, the first few minutes are crucial. When you walk in the door, you're timid or you're shy, you're withdrawn, you're hesitant. How are you? We talk about relationships and what we build. So when you come in the door, say, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. You want to be there. And when people are stalking you and to look online, they're looking for things. So, with the videos you post, I don't care if you stand behind the camera and do it. They see a voice, they see something, and they see you. You're looking to get more than a toe in the door. When I come in the door, I'm planting both feet. Do you want me to take off my shoes? But you're going to see me or know me. And the other thing is this, and I say this because it's so funny. I co-list with a lot of people. I had a guy show up with me. We're co-listing a property. I don't put pictures on my cards. I give him a card. I'm Leon. Hi, how you doing? He had a picture on there, and the guy looked at the picture and goes, oh, what, 10 years ago? I was like, oh, damn, that's not a drop the mic moment you want. So when you're putting something out there, make sure it's you in the here and now, not you from a decade ago, because it's like not a good look.
Oh, man. Hilaire, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hi, I had my lender sign up for the 31st. And then she got a message back saying it was pending approval. How will I know if she got approved?
It shouldn't be pending approval. I'll double check into that, but it's just a Zoom registration, so it shouldn't be a pending approval thing.
Okay.
Because essentially it'll just be an email back, and on that date at that time, she'll just join us like we're doing here on this meeting.
Okay. So I was going to follow up with her, but I didn't know. I kind of lost track of where that message is. Is it on StreetText Insider? Is that where I found it?
Yeah, it is, and we'll put it back to the group. But it's sitting in the featured tab right now. So if you go to the featured tab, so you could always rely on all upcoming events on StreetText being in the featured tab. Just remember, it used to be called announcements, but now it's featured.
Oh, okay.
So that would be the one bookmark I would make sure you have in the Insider community, because you'll always be able to see what's coming up in the future. Rochelle.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, woke me up there for a second. No, I was writing notes. Always writing notes. So not on, it's not really about StreetText, but I feel like maybe I can ask this really quick. So how do you guys reset your background? Because I know you guys have I don't want all my stuff, next to my closet here. So how do you guys reset that? I blurred mine, but that's all I can find.
If you go once you log in, go into where the video is, and it'll give you the option for virtual background.
Okay.
Before you do that, though, go save the pictures you want where you can find them. Otherwise, it's hilarious that you'll be looking like I know it somewhere. So create even a folder, maybe Zoom pics or whatever. Throw that stuff in there. I've got multiple pictures, and I'll tell you where that comes in handy. We say ABC always be advertising. Right now, I got an airplane picture behind me, and people talk about that all the time, but I've got other pictures I can put in there as well. So if I was targeting a specific group or specific something I'm going to do, I make the picture relatable to what's going on, because when we say people are visual and what they look for,
right?
And just like the other thing, I got to worry about kids running around behind me or something like that. You're not going to see them. So, at that point, we're always trying to be professional and put something across that people are going to look easy on the eyes and like.
Okay, so you just go into, you log in and you go to video. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so if you go down to where you have your start and stop video and click that button, it'll say choose the virtual background, or it'll say blur the background, which you already found since you did that.
Okay.
When you choose your virtual background, you'll be able to upload the pictures you want in there. And like I say, just save the pictures in a folder first.
Okay, that's awesome, because I know that's a silly question, but some of us are, I'm going 100 ways at one time, and I'm like, that's something I always wonder when I'm on here, because it looks way professional. I'm like, oh, you were in the Air Force. Oh, that's so awesome. That is awesome. Thank you for your service. I mean, that's all I think about. So yeah, my blurred background is just a distraction. I'd rather have something else.
And
flowers and puppies.
Also, make sure the picture fits and frames right before you do it. You don't want to have something come on that looks all blurry or crazy for people behind you, because we're not here to look like a hot mess for that person we're trying to talk to. We want to come across as prepared and ready.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I always get, are you in a bus or a boat, or are you in a Volkswagen?
I know. I'm like, are you in your bedroom in the back of a VW or something? VW bus.
Yeah, I tell people I was 600 feet off the ground waving at the chase plane, taking pictures of me at the time. So that was in Sweden. And which is also good, because here's one thing also to say. We always talk about, storytelling. So when you sit there and look for common ground, the fact that you can sit there, Marcus's words about being relatable and all that, get something that's going to conversation started to build a relationship.
Absolutely. That's how I feel too. It's like, I want them to know me a little more than just a blurred background. Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, the future of our automations and funnels are all about a perfect hybrid of education, value, and just our personality and what we love to do in life. And I think that's what you got to kind of to think about, because it's all about that know, like, and trust. It's not like, let me just bombard you with real estate content. No, they want to get to know you. I think part of that is letting them into your life, what you love, what you value, your family, your community, all that stuff. That in itself, for me, is what wins the relationship every time. And so that's where I would look at your automation funnel and start thinking about it that way, rather than just simple, boring, generic communication that comes out over and over again.
Yeah, and one of the first things I saw behind you was integrity, and that's always been my word. because a lot of people don't have that. I really know that I have integrity, and, it's not just a matter of going, oh yeah, I have integrity. Yeah, I'm honest. I'm this, I'm that. I want people to know that that's my foundation. They're going to transparent, get what they hear. This is me. And that's one of the first things I saw back there on yours, Marcus.
Hey, you just got to be willing to say what you want to say when you want to say it and be honest and forthright. Like, I think people respect that. You may not always get people that like you, but at least they respect you because you're going to be who you are.
That's funny. My husband goes, not everybody's going to like you, Rochelle. Like,
and that's okay. Hey, this is not about that, right? On social media, you're going to find your tribe. And I think the more authentic you can be, the more people will resonate to find you.
I think that real quickly, and it looks like Gabriel has something he wants to add as well, but I also want to add as much positivity as the video does bring. It also allows people to see maybe the things that they might not like about us as well, which is the same things, the same qualities, the same whatever we might want to call them, as we're going to have when we show up at their doorstep. And if for whatever reason the personality or whatever it might be that they don't like, it's going to be there at their doorstep. So I would rather, in a sense, allow those people to see me for who I am now, figure out right now, do they like me? Is this partnership going to work? Because if not, there's a million other fish in the sea for us to spend our time on, right? So allow those people to make that snap decision. That's perfectly fine, right? But the more you put yourself out there, the better. And I think finding that relatable content, I don't know if anybody saw, I had my little pep up for a second there. And it's just, finding stuff that is relatable, I think is incredibly important. And just be yourself.
Logan, can you grab that puppy real quick and just put it up there for everybody to see? I think we all want to see the puppy.
Oh my gosh, I love puppies.
Well, now he's growling, but
oh, he's
Look
adorable.
At that face.
He's a cute boy.
He's a doodle.
He is a doodle.
Cute.
All right, Gabrielle, Steve, and then Jackie.
Yeah, just going back to the whole camera thing. I think part of it comes from just discomfort and shyness, whatever. One thing that I recommend people all the time is, like, if you have to just pick this little corner, something in your home or anywhere, and just make it look decent so that you never have to use the blurry backgrounds or whatever. I mean, if you want to use the backgrounds, that's fine. That's all good. I think for just like the algorithms on Instagram and Facebook, when you have a natural background that like that on air neon and everything going on and behind Marcus, that's like triggering the algorithms to put you in front of more people, right? So like, for example, one of my clients who does a lot of YouTube videos, he used to do them with just a background or blurred. And I told him, I said, look, by next time we talk, here's what I want you to do. Clean up your background, get rid of that cycle, the exercise bike, get a fig tree, a little fig plant, put up some pictures. He moved his desk over, and like, you don't have to go to those extents, but he does YouTube videos and they're really good, but his background sucked. As soon as he made that change, his views started going through the roof, because even just a thumbnail with the clean background attracts people way more, right? Like, I don't know what it is about a fig plant, but like, if you have a fig plant behind you, more people are going to click on your video. So basically, if you don't have a lot of space or you don't want to spend money doing it, just pick a corner, pick a part of the wall somewhere. You can even just maybe put a poster, a map, paint just that little section, So the point is this: the background behind you, make it natural, make it nice and clean. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to look a certain way. Everybody's different. And I think it's also a way for you to express who you are. And like, what was just said about let people dislike you up front too, that's fine too. But I think that helps a lot, right? So that's it.
Word. We got Steve and then Jackie.
Hey, Gabriel, I got my exercise bikes in behind me, so it's just
Get rid of it.
I didn't want to hijack this, but I'm actually jumping on a StreetText Zoom for all the Canadians, I just created one last week and we had like 5 or 6 people. So Marcus, is it okay if I put the link in the
100%
in the thing?
Yeah, drive
it.
it.
Like 10 minutes after, 10, 15 minutes after. So if anybody here is from Canada, just jump on with us after. That's all I had to say.
Canadian Mastermind, look at that. I love it.
Going back to that, he's got his bike and his exercise. That if that's you, that's cool too. Just, make it obvious that like, yeah, that's my background. I like to work out and I like to ride my bike, and get a fig tree for sure.
Oh man, if I could, I'd be hosting my mastermind in the gym right now. That'd be the ultimate.
That's true. And also just a tip, I see it a lot, guys. Like I know most of you are on your laptop. Like if you could get a little stand, kind of like this. Can you see that? Because nobody wants to look up our nostrils. Like if I can see your roof, your ceiling, you need some kind of stand. So like this camera is on a tripod. My iPhone's on it. That's where I do everything, coaching, webinars, everything. And then I have my laptop down here on a stand so I can reach it. But when I'm sitting down, it's still on the stand to get that clear front vision. Look, it may seem like not a big deal, but I promise you, it's a big deal subconsciously and to the algorithm. Okay.
Jackie and then Campbell.
Hey, I just want to give a big shout out to StreetText. I didn't know that in the Facebook, once somebody goes into your ad on Facebook and clicks through, I didn't know that they could schedule an appointment right from there. And I got my first appointment scheduled. I'm so excited from that. I had no idea that was part of the process. So yay.
Hey, it doesn't happen very often. So look out for it, but it's on the very last part after they give the name and phone number. They could schedule a time and day that they want to meet with you. And so when it does, that's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. I had no idea that was part of it. So good job, guys.
Let us know how that goes. Campbell.
2 quick questions. Number 1, can you have them put that copy of the ad for rent to buy in the Facebook group so we can see it, what the front page landing page looks like?
Yeah, you mean the actual ad image and copy itself?
Yeah, the one that she's using that we can look at for R&D.
Yeah, that's I can do Donna, if it's okay with you, I can do a screenshot and upload it there. Awesome.
And number 2, Marcus, I need to get with you. Where do I book on your calendar? I'm forgetting where I find it on the website. I've been looking and I'm not having any luck.
You send me a Facebook message.
Send you a Facebook message as my coach for us to set up a time. So that's what I do.
All right, buddy.
I'll send it to you. Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right. Keep this rocking, guys. What else you got? Unmute yourself. Shares. Questions. What do we want to talk about? Who's running buyer ads right now? I'm curious, other than like who's running seller ads and what's your success on those? That's another great question to see what's happening in this crazy market right now. What are you seeing success right now? I saw someone raise their hand too. It doesn't have to be about what I just addressed. Who wants to unmute?
Hilaire was going to ask a question, I believe.
Yeah, Hilaire, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask a different question. If you were to use with HomeBot 2 different lenders, how would you? Any suggestions on keeping things straight?
Why would you use 2 different lenders? I mean, the only way to use 2 different lenders is to have 2 different accounts and pay for 2 different accounts, because then you're paying twice. So I would not use 2 different lenders. I would find a lender that's going to give you the best value.
Okay. Well, just because one would offer different products than the other one.
Just because
that would be the only reason.
Because they're like on HomeBot doesn't mean you only have to use that lender. Like just because they're sponsoring you for HomeBot doesn't mean that that's the only lender you send people to.
Yeah, I don't use the lender that's partnered up with me for HomeBot for business. If he can generate his own business through HomeBot, more power to him. But I've got my own preferred lenders that don't sponsor me on HomeBot.
Yeah, I have I have my HomeBot lender. I do work with her on some things. I also have other lenders that I use because she doesn't offer all the programs, and she's not for every buyer. So just because they're on HomeBot doesn't mean that you have to use them for all of your loans.
Okay, so they don't see do they see all of the leads that come in, or
the only people
how does that work
on there are the buyer side?
They don't
have access to your sellers at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we'll cover that. We'll cover that on the webinar on the 31st. So
on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll do a deep dive. That was good because a lot of people probably thought that same thing. Hey, I have to use this one lender and this one lender only. No, it's just bring a lender that you'd want to connect with and potentially on HomeBot that would see the value there. And they're gonna, it's gonna be a good roundtable discussion from the lender's perspective and from the realtor's perspective.
Okay. Thank you.
I got Deborah. Deborah, we're gonna have to work on some of your lighting over there. I can't hardly see you.
I'm in my bathrobe today. I'm sorry. I'm lazy. I'm honest.
Hey, I love it.
I'm actually using the downsize ad, and I decided to go in and just use it on the weekend because it's, in Southern California, everything's expensive. So I pulled in for 3 days, 21 good leads. I got a call from somebody that I actually followed up and sent her some additional homes, and she called me and wanted to see one of them at 1.3 million. And we have an appointment to see a house tomorrow at 1.9 million. And they'll have to sell the house they're living in. That's about 1.5 million.
Wow. I'm going to pull up your ad if you don't mind.
Yeah, and just let me start by saying, Deborah, one of the things that I heavily recommend, especially in a market that you're in, is consistency is incredibly important with Facebook. And typically, and I do see this a lot where people will want to schedule ads, with the assumption that they're going to work better over the weekends and everything like that. But in my experience, I would recommend finding a budget that's more manageable long term and sticking with it so that you're not always stopping and starting your ads. Because if you're getting good traction now and you pause your ad, let's say throughout the week and then turn it back on Fridays, it's luck of the draw every single time you launch it that you're going to find the appropriate demographic, that it's going to work and remain consistent. And the more you're stopping and starting it, the more likely you are to lose the algorithm and start to see your costs rise considerably. If you are finding the right demographic, the kind of people like you're just describing, that's what we're looking for. The people who own bigger homes, more expensive homes, and are looking to downsize into something, doesn't necessarily have to be more affordable. It can still be an expensive home that they're moving into as well. But if you're finding that demographic, the last thing you want to do is lose it. So I would recommend finding a budget that you can stay at 7 days a week and just letting that thing go long term. You'll find a little bit more success that way, I would say.
Look at this ad. It's cool. Looking to downsize your home but not your lifestyle? Get a list of beautiful turnkey homes with a smaller footprint, no stairs, and less maintenance sent directly to you instantly. So that's one of the new funnel templates that has been super popular and getting great results. And you can upload your own photo like Deborah has done here in the California area. Of course, it fits the palm trees and that whole area vibe. So that's the key on there. Jeff, I could see that working for you, buddy. Orange County.
I don't know where I got that photo, and I can't, but it was in my file, and everybody loves that house and wants to buy it.
That is beautiful. That would be work here too. I'm in Rancho Cucamonga, and that is a gorgeous house.
So there you go. And so you can see she's got some good lead flow on that just by running that split test. So there you go. Yeah, smart job. Good job. Lots of value there, guys. Test them out. Try them out yourself.
One of the things they say, we go back to that definition of insanity. If your ads ain't working, sign up for the freaking ad class. I drop in there all the time just so I can sit down and look at things. And sometimes, I'll just say it, I might go in there without a freaking clue. because I'm looking to see what's working for everybody else. Because if I'm there, obviously what I had ain't working the way I wanted it to, or it's dropping off. So, you know, the price education is free, show up. And a lot of times just sitting there, and I always tell people when they ask me this, just say, hey, Logan, use my account. Let him build your ad while you're in there. He builds it. You know it's right. It's running. You just got to check it. So, you know, in your time to block out an hour of your day that's going to make you productive and do something for you. You know, the only thing wrong is to not do anything at all.
Hey, Leon, the way I like to call it, it's like when you sign up for StreetText, it's like you have, you know, this Harvard University experience. Yeah, you want to be a great A+ student. Well, you have to attend class and you have to go and study under the professors, right? Or it's just a waste of money. So think of it, you know, as StreetText University. How do you want to leverage this education in this class and all these great coaches and professors? And the professors could be your fellow peers, because there's Thinkific guides and so forth of people that have shown you their successes, and you can apply into that. So that's just something. This is what this mastermind is, right? You're here, and those of you that make it consistently, I know you would say the ROI potential, because you're here alone, skyrockets.
Yeah, and I'll just double down on that really quickly. And you know, when we mention professors, guides, whatever you want to call it, I know that me personally, I picked up a lot of information over the years of me doing this, and you know, a lot of it is digging through Facebook, a lot of it is, you know, past experience, fair, but a good percentage of the knowledge that I currently possess that I'm willing to, you know, give to everybody has come from the mastermind, has come from those classes, has come from you guys as a whole, and bringing your great information to us. We essentially just store it and disseminate it to anybody else as they come through. So if you want to, you know, get it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, come right to those calls, come right to the source, come hear it from the individuals themselves, and you can get a better interpretation of what it is that they mean, and you can ask your own questions and ideas. That's what these masterminds are for. That's what all those ads classes are for. Leon, just like you said, you don't necessarily have to come to the ads class and go, I know exactly what I want. Well, no, you're coming there because you don't know what you want. You want something different. You want something that works. Well, come there and you can see, you know, 5, 6, 10 other people who are, you know, different levels of success currently. What are they doing? Or what have they tried? What should I try next? It's always, what should I be doing next? Right? So yeah, keep coming to the meetings, keep learning, and keep bringing your good information to the rest of the groups. This is very valuable stuff.
Really quick, when are the ads classes? I didn't know there was.
They're scattered throughout. We try to make them at different hours of the day throughout the week. They are 5 days a week, though, Monday to Friday. So if you go into your dashboard, go under the helpful resources and look for where it says book a class. It's the Ad Help Performance and Review. Click on that one. Currently, I'm running them Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. And you'll see branded on Tuesdays.
I just put it in the... So that applies to anybody who has ad performance issues. Jump on that. They're every single day. You can find one. If it's not today, you find it tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the next day. That would be my suggestion to you, is get on those, because that's specifically dealing with anyone that wants ad performance reviews, whether it's ads not working for me or I want to try out a new ad. You know, hit that up. Yep. And then automations. Yeah, I mean, just know what you have. Automations are about automations, email, drip, and SMS. So that's where you want to go in there and realize that you can customize those messages. It doesn't have to be simply what it is. Both on the 9-month-long drip campaign and any other ad that you're running, automations would be your email follow-up as well as your text messaging and what you can do with those two components. Conversion workshop would be, I'm the obvious. Let's convert some leads. Mastermind domain class, you wouldn't need to go to but one time just to get your domain set up for the seller ads. And then the custom ad workshop would be wanting to try something new with Logan. And I think that's a bi-weekly class, right, Logan? Am I missing any? I think that's all of them, right? Yeah. The mastermind, you're here. Video ads. So video ads are going to be better for the remarketing and retargeting, which we're coming out with shortly. Steve was going to be on here to share with you some big news. So I'm sure that'll be next mastermind, where we'll be highlighting the remarketing and retargeting component, which is coming. Campbell, you got a question, brother?
Yeah, where do we find that link? I'm not finding that resources tab that you guys are talking about when I'm on the website.
You go to your StreetText dashboard. Literally click on
dashboard. I'm at the dashboard now.
And it says book a class.
I'm not seeing that. I'm on the dashboard. Let's see. Let me go where it says dashboard.
So you go to dashboard and the
there we go. Got it. Thank you.
You betcha.
Hiding in plain sight.
Hiding in plain sight.
Yep.
Right.
Amazing how that happens.
Question for you on ads. So I've been running the exact same ad for months now, probably 9 months now, and I think it works great. Should we be testing all the time, or can I just because I love that it's running and I can forget it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
I'll put it that way. At the same time, really do focus on, you have the lifetime results. You also have the last 7 days results. Oftentimes, what I've seen people coming to the ads class, your lifetime results are fantastic, especially since you've had a long running ad. It's hard for the last 7 days stats to start muddying it up the longer it's been running. 9 months. It's going to take an awful month straight before your lifetime results really start to dip. So start focusing on your last 7 days. And if your last 7 days email number gets over your acquisition cap, the number that we're comfortable with, it doesn't necessarily mean turning the ad off. I've got a lot of different tips and tricks I can show you to save a good ad with has lots of good positive engagement. So definitely consider coming to the ads class once anyways. Just come in and we'll kind of have a look through your account. If everything's on track, then at least you kind of leave feeling a little bit more comfortable that everything's perfectly on track. And if not, again, there's so many different ways to save good ads or replace them with what's going to work better for you. So again, just get that extra little confirmation, and the more the merrier. So definitely join me on one of those calls.
Thank you so much.
What I would also say though, Jackie, is like, for example, we turn around, there's other things that come up. If you're already, really busy with the business you have, you're not needing more, it's good. But if you feel that you want to dabble something else, go run a couple of other ads and see what kind of results you get as well. There's nothing, I always say there's nothing wrong with too much business. You just got to remember it's called a referral. So it's one of those where you only cry when you don't have enough. And if your ad's performing well and you're comfortable, that's good. But there's so many other things we have running out there that, to try a couple different ads just to see where you are. Branching out, all your eggs in one basket ain't always good.
Thank you, Leon.
Sweet, guys. All right. Well, we're about 10 minutes past the hour, so we'll end it there unless anyone has some pressing questions. Again, think about that one thing you're going to take away today, because it can get overwhelming. There's usually a dozen or more things that are dropped in there that are gold nuggets for you, and you could always go back on YouTube and watch this recording. A lot of you will do that and take notes. But that one thing that really pressed on you today from this mastermind, and make that one thing happen, and do it now before you forget, or write it down. And you got Steve on here if you're in Canada about to do the mastermind. And then don't forget, save the date for the 31st for that HomeBot lender presentation we're going to be giving. And if you have any questions, as always, reach out to us, drop it in the insider community. Thank you for being here, guys. We will see you soon.
Marcus, do you want to jump over?